On this week's episode of the Superhero Show, we'll find out if Daredevil Born Again can restart Marvel TV, if Frank's legacy will live on Harley Quinn, and if Invincible is still invincible or is it invincible shit. All of that and more on an all-new episode of the Superhero Show. What's up, nerds? Welcome to the Superhero Show, a podcast where friends get together and talk about their favorite comic book-based TV shows. This week, I'm Cassie. I got to introduce me first. That's so important. I'm Cassie. I'm your host. And now let me bring on my friend, which is Ryan this week.
I love how you're like, oh, fuck, I don't even need to say my name. Ryan has to be on here as soon as possible.
See, I figured it was that I'm just so famous that, like, the people hear my voice, they're like, no, that's my girl, that's Cassie. Like, people are telling all their friends, like, oh my God, it's Cassie again this week. She's back. We get her again. And then I can bring on Ryan. That's what I was thinking.
I think that's an interesting take. Mm-hmm. But what I would say that it was more like is that no one cares. Everyone is like, where is Ryan? And then you were like, let's get Ryan on as soon as possible.
Mm-hmm, yeah. There's only one way this is going to be settled, and we need your emails. We need a vote. Who do you love more? There's not two more anxious people you could put against each other and ask people to say which one they love more. That's terrible. Please don't do it.
And I can't wait for that one email that we get from not Cassie at all.
From definitely not Cassie 69
420@gmail.com that says actually Ryan's the cool one. Cassie, you gave yourself a fake email and you still said that I was the cool one.
Ryan, you're the cool one. It just is. Enough chit-chatting, though. Let's get to business. It's comic book time, comic book TV time. And Ryan, this week we had a new show come out, and I don't know about you, because you've been doing this a very long time, so I want to check in to see, when you hear an announcement that there's going to be a new show, are you excited or more hesitant after all these years?
I mean, it's a good question. It's so complicated because is this a new show?
It's the Risen Again. It's the Christian version. He has died and risen again. You are born again.
I was excited because I, for some reason, am like forever optimistic that Disney Plus and Marvel will figure it out. We're talking about Daredevil Born Again.
Yes. Spoiler.
Or DBA, which used to mean Doing Business As, but now means Daredevil Born Again. And the reviews came out before I actually watched it, and I was like, oh shit, am I a Fergie backup singer? Oh shit. I think that are we on the precipice of something great again? We'll get into that later.
Yeah, save it. For me, it definitely depends on what's been announced, and then this one I was nervous about because of its history.
Hold on, I'm getting a fax right here. It says, this is an email from a listener named definitely not Cassie 42069. Ask Cassie what the names of her dogs are.
Yeah.
Cassie, what are the names of your dogs?
Our firstborn was, of course, Murdock, and we had to get our second one, who had to be Nelson. And Our good friends got us this sign, the official 3D printed sign for their lawyer group. We are what would be called big fans.
So unless you're fans of Ben Affleck and Jennifer Garner's Daredevil and Elektra, I feel like you are a fan of the Netflix series Daredevil, yes?
Yes, the Netflix one bangs. It's so good. It was... Yeah.
You're getting verklempt. Did you win... Not to spoilers. Here we go. Spoilers. 3, 2, 1. When Foggy got shot, did you imagine your baby boy Nelson getting shot?
Listeners will know, friend of the pod, Caitlin. Caitlin immediately shouted, "Nelson, you're dead!" Just immediately started comforting him and hugging him. What's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry you died."
Did he do that doggy trick of laying down like you're dead?
Yeah, he did. He always looks like that though, so it's totally fine. He's fine. He's a normal dog. But yeah, it hit us hard. We're already talking about it.
Yeah, we got to move on, Cassie.
All right, just go straight into it. No break.
No, let's take a break.
All right. When we come back, we're going to officially start talking about Daredevil Born Again. In the 2-episode premiere of Daredevil Born Again, the crew is back together. Well, they are for at least 3 whole minutes until Foggy is shot and killed by Bullseye. Unable to deal with his best friend dying and also trying to murder Bullseye, Matt hangs up the horns and decides to leave justice to the court systems. We then check back in a year later, and New York is not doing well. Crime is up, people are angry, and Fisk decides to run as mayor to fix it. Taste Buds, I ask you, did this premiere give you hope that this series can live up to the original?
Live up to the original, Cassie.
Live up to it, Ryan.
Yeah, no, my goal is to surpass it because I feel like that my personal stock of the Marvel Netflix has gone long down, including Daredevil.
But think of season 1. When I'm talking about it, I'm talking season 1 Netflix Daredevil.
Mostly boring. Barely good.
Fucking crazy. You're crazy.
The highlight was Fisk, of course, an incredible villain.
God. I want to get into it, but we also got to talk about this one. But what, like, Fisk, in this series, did Fisk go down for you?
Yes.
Okay,
absolutely.
Good. Okay.
I don't like to sort of say that your views on things affect me at all. Uh-huh. But I was always a Fisk fan for so long, and then watching these 2 episodes, I was like, was I wrong?
You were
Cassie,
wrong.
Was Cassie
you were
right?
Wrong.
But let's get to the opening, because what an incredible opening. Daredevil Born Again. Born Again is not just him becoming Daredevil again, which we don't see in these first 2 episodes of the Born Again, but we'll probably see in episode 3. But it's also a Christian thing, right? Yeah. Now I am born again. I believe in Jesus all of a sudden. Daredevil is a Catholic guy, Matt Murdock. But we started this with so much fun and beers, and we're all hanging out, and it's triumphant, and then he has no choice but to become Daredevil and beat the shit out of a lot of people because Bullseye has decided that he's on a rampage. Incredible opening. So many moments of these first 2 episodes are so memorable. It's just that overall, they don't know how to do the slow still. They still don't know how to do it. We have Wilson Fisk. This is what's crazy to me. This is the craziest part. We have Wilson Fisk going to therapy.
Yeah, dog.
In a show that introduces, as a character, the right-hand man to Wilson Fisk, James Gandolfini's son. Cassie, do you know who James Gandolfini played famously?
No. Please share your knowledge with me, or I'll have to turn to Google. I'll just have to do it.
No, don't do it. Don't. Tony Soprano.
Oh my gosh.
Where the whole thing of that show was how a mobster is going to therapy.
Crazy.
And it just made me think that, like, this is lesser than... And, like, I love... You know me. I love to lose a Foggy. To watch a character like Foggy get fucking shot is my favorite thing. A terrible character. But despite his haircut, because do you notice his haircut in this new series and how familiar it looks?
Pretty similar
to who you're looking at right now. I didn't love that. But when Foggy dies, we then get this Daniel Blake character. That's James Gandolfini's son, who probably has his own name, but it doesn't matter. Who is just as fucking doofy as Foggy ever was.
There always has to be that character, Ryan. Someone has to come in as that one. No, you have to pick your one. They listened to you. They're like, this guy doesn't like Foggy. Let's fucking kill him. And half the world was devastated by it, and half rejoiced. So,
let me ask you a question. As somebody who doesn't like Fisk but does like Foggy, which is like, it's like somebody saying
perfectly.
I don't really like carnitas, but I do love dog shit off somebody's shoe.
Delectable.
When we start, does Foggy's death feel like an earned thing? No. Or does it feel like we need Daredevil to be born again? So let's get it started.
I was It definitely didn't feel earned, but I was caught between, like, we all the time talk about how these shows need to speed up things and we will catch up to them. So I was like, well, fuck, you guys did do it. So now I guess I gotta shut up and take what you have given me. But it was insane. Legit, they were like walking on the streets. They were like, oh, this place is still here. This place, we're still good friends.
Nothing will ever be bad for our lives.
And then got hit with a bullet. And I need to check in with you. I don't understand where Bullseye came from. And we've watched, I think, all the shows that could have tied this in. Yeah. Bullseye feels like a wild pull for there to be like this vendetta where he needed to get Foggy.
And eventually we do see his trial where Murdock is on the witness stand, not as a lawyer, and just being like, no, this guy needs to go to jail. But I don't know, Cassie, like they just needed a catalyst, right? They needed somebody to like make stuff happen. And Bullseye is great at that because we see his paperclip go through a fly and we're like, oh, fuck.
I know who that is. Only one man can do that.
That's probably not Thanos. That's definitely only one guy. And I appreciated all of that. But like, what fucking hit me the most in this whole incredible first 10 minutes, and we'll talk about the incredibly boring 40 or 50 minutes that follow this, but in this first incredible 10 minutes was the Bullseye fight, the murder, and then all the way up, and we have a oneer, believe it or not, Daredevil fans, we have a oneer where it's just one shot in a Asian restaurant, and everybody's getting the shit kicked out of them. We go up the stairs, and then it's Matt and Dex fighting. And he beats Dex to a pulp and then gets so frustrated. He's like, fuck it. And then shoves him off the roof knowing that he will die. Yeah. That's something that we have not seen before. That's like, to me, I've never shoved somebody off the roof, but I've been on a diet and I've seen a donut and I've just like eaten it really quickly. Like, you know what? I'm so frustrated. I'm just going to eat this so fast and so hard.
Those are on equal levels.
That's how Matt does it. It's just like, I just can't anymore with this guy. I can't with this guy. And then shoves him off the building.
Yeah, that was crazy to see. Also, because like it's been Matt Murdock this whole time. Like all the other seasons have been leading up like to like he's got the devil inside him, but he's never like fully let him out. And I was like, well, he did try to do a murder, so I guess we got him now, don't we?
I mean, the fact that Dex lived was against Daredevil's wishes. He really did push him off to his death.
The fact that Dex could stand a year later at his trial, I was like, this is a whole new man. This is not what Matt wanted at all.
Did he shoot a paperclip into a fly that then bounced into his spine and then it fixed his spine? Like, how did he do that? Also, later on in the two episodes, not to jump too far ahead, but he gets in a fight with two cops in an apartment. Mm-hmm. And I feel like that he is fighting them to the death. Like he pushes a cop over where the cop hits his neck and spine in a way where like he's probably dead or paralyzed.
Yeah, I for sure later on those ones, like once they like panned out, I was like, those two dead.
Yeah.
The feet were at the wrong angles. I didn't see no movement. I was like, oh my God, he's murdered more men. He's on a murder spree. Look out, New York. I don't know if this is the answer.
New York, you have your first violent person ever in your city, so be careful.
I know crime is at a all-time high. It's at 100%, I believe, currently for you all. But this boy,
somebody held a meter out of their window in New York, and they were like, "Oh shit, crime is at 100% right now."
You won't believe it, boss. It's 100. We're on a roll talking about these, but I can't get past that. These first 10 minutes to you that are so incredible crushed me. Because the feel was just so wrong, and the CGI, like everything felt like they were trying to redo the parts that were good to it but messed it up. Like him flying through the city with his little, like, I don't even know what it is, like a rappelling gun.
Billy Club.
God, dude, it sucks so bad to see that. And then the shots didn't even, like, there was too much CGI for, like, what felt good about the first original one was that like everything was so gritty and real, and the one shots felt like a masterpiece. This one felt like a pieced together little collage from a 2-year-old. It fucking sucked.
I am shocked and appalled. So these two episodes of Daredevil, which are inarguably better than any other two episodes of the Daredevil Netflix show, you found to be pieced together and shitty like a toddler made them.
Yeah, that's crazy that we are on so opposite ends right now.
There were times where I thought the CGI was a little wild. In going back to the cops in the apartment, where he would smack a cop's head against a fridge, and the amount of CGI blood, like
that was splattered beautifully.
Yeah, and it was just like you might as well like put fire or lava out of their mouth when they hit the fridge. Like it's so like clearly CGI, and there's some things that I like that for, like. Let's put CGI blasts at the end of guns, right? So we don't have an Alec Baldwin situation again. Like, let's keep people safe. Or all animals should probably be CGI from now on, so we don't harm any more animals. But the blood splatter has been perfected as far as Sam Raimi movies go. Like, it was so obviously CGI.
Mm-hmm. And that's the one, like, so the first fight we get where they, like, throw, like, smoke bombs, and you could see, like, the way it comes in and then, like, obscures half of it, and it's all CGI. I was like, this is such a bummer. Like, you can't even use real smoke. Like, get real smoke in there. It's so easy. It's so cheap. No.
We don't want the smoke to be harmed in the filming of this episode.
It was just driving me crazy that it felt so much faker than the original.
I have two characters to ask you about. Let's start with Karen Page.
Yeah.
2 episodes in. And how are we doing with her story?
I don't know. They didn't do a lot with her because we don't know fully what all went down, besides they both were obviously dealing with Foggy's death and traumatized by what happened. And she probably was like, hey, you tried to do a murder and I don't think that's cool. But so we don't get a lot of her. She checks in at the trial, sort of. Like, they just have, like, a brief interaction of, like, I figured you would track me down no matter what. There's clearly, like, we don't have the full story, so I don't know what to do with her because we haven't gotten all of it.
Do you feel like flashbacks are coming throughout this
season?
For
sure. Yeah, for sure.
I do love her saying, I'm leaving. And Matt being like, no, but I asked you to stay. That's so weird to me that you wouldn't.
No, but that's against my wishes.
Yeah, but like, I'm a very handsome blind man. Will you deny my wishes?
Nobody has ever said no to me in my life. Look at me.
Look at me. Like, my last name is Cox. Plural.
Have you seen this ass? And you've seen what I can do.
But no, she gets up and walks away, which is amazing. And then the other person I wanted to ask you about was Vanessa, because Kingpin has been away or Wilson, I'm sorry, has been away for a long time. I think that has to do with the show Echo and Hawkeye.
Yes, and for sure, Echo.
And they're assuming that we all watched the classic, highly rated Echo. And so we know what's going on with Wilson. But Vanessa has been running this town. I feel like they're trying to bring Vanessa back as a character. Is that working?
For me, it felt so true. Like, that was another part that was rough because, like, she was like, hey, this business is thriving. She had it down. She was a crime boss, bossing it. She was like, profits are up. Crime is up. I'm fucking killing it. Look at these paintings right here. These dudes are loving them.
Look at this chart from USA Today. It says crime is up 97%.
Soon to be 100. I can't wait for it. And then he comes in and he's like, that's super cool. I've been working on a journal. I've been writing down my wishes and also thinking a lot. And I would like it back to fuck it all up. And I was like, she transformed the whole business and you fucked off for this whole time. And like, you're just coming back. Like, it was insane to like watch this.
It reminded me a lot of shows, but like the Penguin show where, what's her name? Took over, Sophia.
I'm going to say yes.
And everybody was like, yeah, no, everything's working so well, but she doesn't have a penis. Let's shoot her.
Let's get her out of here. I'm all for it. I need her to get the business back. Like, just give the business to her. But I'm here for their little therapy sessions.
Okay,
just so you can see that how sucky Fisk is.
I'm down to call him Sucky Fisk from here on out. Every single time the therapist clearly asked Vanessa a question, Wilson would answer first. Is that a good trait of a man?
That's a typical trait of a man. That's a typical one right there. But they're definitely painting him more as they want him to be somebody, and they are bringing in more of those traits now to like, this is like my take on him for this season, is that everybody who didn't get that he sucked and wasn't a good character and just like crappy, they're like, let's just make it more obvious so everyone can get on board here.
Let's talk about the 250-pound long red tied Mar-Lago living elephant in the room.
Yeah. Just get it over with.
The storyline here, Cassie, is that almost said a different word. Fisk runs for mayor and barely wins, and half the people think he's awesome because he's a criminal. Yep. The other half hates him because he's a disgusting piece of shit. Did this remind you of like Nixon or
it's a past
Eisenhower?
guy.
Was it Eisenhower?
Roosevelt.
Yeah. Grover
someone.
Cleveland.
Yeah,
Was
that's
it him?
the one. That's the one. Yeah, all of his fans wear hats too with a little phrase on it. Such a fun little aspect they added to it this
They
season.
say things like, I don't care what he does. I love him forever.
Love him. But they do make it clear the cops do not back him because he is a criminal, which is, they were like, the commissioner not down with him
And
at
that's
all
how
anyway.
That's how it's unrealistic. Because
Yeah.
all of our cops in this world
Fucking
would
love.
back. Yeah. ACAB, baby.
It is crazy to see like it be so close to real life, but then have this crazy thing where people are like, I heard he crushed a man's head, and everyone's like, I don't know if I should vote for him because I think he crushed a man's head in a car door potentially.
Potentially, almost. It's kind of like he might have, and then I don't even know. I think I'll vote for him, but I'm not sure right now.
Not sure. I'll see his stance on this.
I want to see his stance on fluoride and water first before I decide if I'll vote for somebody who crushed a man's head in a door. But this whole thing, we do get a cab, a calf. All cops are friends.
Yeah.
Because so a cab, obviously, right? Because the whole case that Matt is taking on is two cops are just beating somebody to a pulp, and somebody saves that person, but then accidentally throws a guy into a subway. Mm-hmm. And that's bad for that person who will become the white tiger. But on the other hand, we have this police commissioner who's like, I fucking see through you, Fisk, and I know who you are. Mm-hmm. Where are they from? What city is this? I know who you fucking are.
Classic New York.
Can you have a nuanced? Can you have a fucking nuanced position on cops?
Hey, bro, can you? Yeah, to have it happen at a funeral too, like a cop funeral. I was like, God, we're hitting all the classics, huh? We're doing it all.
Look, a cab, but I like that commissioner who just steps up to Fisk and he's like, are you fucking kidding me right now? Like, you bald, fat piece of shit.
We have, so Murdock's really going through it. Once he's like, oh my God, he got elected. This is crazy. I'm going to try to figure out his intentions, which this felt crazy. He was like, I'm going to sit at a diner with him and try to figure out if he's trying to be a mayor or not. Like,
oh my God, I'm just going to hang out with him at a diner. It's fine.
It's Fisk. What questions are you going to ask him where it's going to be like, no, I believe he's here for the city. This man is for the city. If only he saw him fill that pothole, he would have been convinced.
And like, I mean, imagine even having a conversation. This is the part that I love. This is like the direct connection to our life. If we haven't been painting that picture enough, that I love, where like you ask Fisk a direct question. He's like, look at this coffee cup. It's round, but has a handle. I love it. It holds coffee, and the coffee's warm. And you're like, what the fuck are you saying, dude? Like,
answer a question, dog.
No,
one of them.
Okay, here's the question. What is your favorite color?
If you think of all colors. It's like, God, one of them, please. Yeah, we don't get, besides, a whole murder, we start to see that Daredevil is not yet fully born again. He's not taking it up, but he does, he still has...
Do you know what he fucking does, like a fucking nerd, is he rolls his horn head, that little horn from his helmet around like a goddamn kid with a 36-sided dice, just looking at the river saying, should I play D&D again?
Do I pick it back up?
Do I
become
Do I
an
just
orc?
put this in the trash?
So we haven't gotten there yet. We start off with a lot and now we're getting groundwork. So we don't have much to see for it yet. But I guess you are feeling really good about this series.
I'm feeling more positive than the Netflix show. You fucking jerk face. Like
crazy dog.
You think this is a step down from the Netflix show?
It was, yeah, it didn't capture me like that original.
Yeah.
And I think it's because, like, they even gave us a hallway scene, and the hallway scene didn't live up to it. Like, that's what this thing became known for, and it didn't feel like it. I'm hoping it gets better for me, and I could just accept what this is.
Maybe it will grow into something that we both enjoy.
Maybe this will be our born again moment.
I feel like now is the time to have Marvel optimism. Why not? Like, now is the time to just be like,
why the fuck not, dog? Everything else sucks. Why not? Hey, let's start saying Marvel's good again, even though they can turn out anything. Fuck it. I don't care.
Let's fucking zag when everyone's zigging and just say, Marvel's really going to do it this time.
Hey, you remember when we all die for Marvel? Let's do that again. Let's go to moments of the week. What's yours?
Oh, it's very clearly when Foggy got shot to death. That was...
You're so mean.
I feel like I dreamed this series coming into fruition. Oh, we got to shoot Foggy to death because Ryan wants it. It happened.
I truly listened to you.
Yes.
It was for you. I got 2 moments of the week. One is when Fisk was like, I'm ready to be mayor. Let's start making some changes. And his little advisor was like, for 100 days, you're going to straight up do nothing. You're going to sit
That's how politics work. Like, your job is nothing.
But they are currently traveling on a highway, and that highway is at a standstill because there's a giant pothole that they have not been able to fill until Fisk came around and he said, hey, boys, you got the equipment, you fill it. And the construction foreman says, you heard him, fill the hole.
Okay, Cassie.
The writing is insane in this show. I take it back. Marvel's good, guys.
We both live in Southern California, yes? And so a pothole to us is like, I could like mostly shape it in my hands, right? It's like a foot by a foot. This classic New York pothole is as if Godzilla stepped directly onto the bridge.
It's a sinkhole. Like, it's a bigger problem.
Yes. Maybe fight the sea monsters that are coming into your town before you just start filling holes. But Fisk loves the fact that everyone is watching him fill this hole.
God, and salute that foreman who said, you're absolutely right. And the way he tells his crew to get ready is fill that hole, boys.
God, and this fucking foreman, he like kicks his heels up in the air and just starts shooting cheese steaks to everybody. The most blue collar person I've ever seen in my life.
The writing truly feels like they gave it to AI for a large portion of this. But again, Marvel's good and we love it. The other moment of the week is I watched this with Caitlin, a huge Daredevil fan as well. We own these dogs together. Our thirsty asses the whole time we're waiting for a good booty shot, which is what the first season did so good for us of the original.
Sure.
And we really had to settle for our hot shot was him chopping vegetables. And so he was chopping away on those veggies and both of us were like, okay, they gave us something.
Man, girls are so fucking... They've got nothing as far as dudes go. Chopping vegetables. Oh, I'm sorry.
Hey,
he can chop vegetables? Wow.
Yes, chef, dog. We're changed people. I
don't need to see balls or wiener. Just move that knife fast.
He was so good at it. You should go ahead and check out Daredevil Born Again, because Marvel's doing it. They're saving us. It's Tuesdays on Disney Plus. Give it a shot. When we come back, we're going to talk about the other shows. We're back, and Ryan, I know I said that when we come back, we'd be talking about the other shows, but I forgot to give you your time to shine, and I'm so sorry for this. You have the full time. Take as long as you want. Tell everyone about your big website idea.
Oh my goodness. My big website idea is so crazy. And it's called foggymist.com.
Mm-hmm.
And first of all, you know who didn't miss is
who
Bullseye.
never does.
Yeah.
Hey.
But Foggy Mist is where you could watch that fucking blood explode out of his body into a mist in the air and just be so happy that...
There is a T at the end. I thought it was mist, like we'll miss him.
No.
But no, there's a T
Cassie.
there. Oh, okay.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
No one will ever miss him, including his parents. They're so glad that he's dead. But the mist that was created when the bullet went through him. So go to foggymist.com and you will see just one GIF. It's just a MySpace website of just nonstop GIFs.
It's really our specialty here that we love. Also, I don't want to be nitpicky, but would you say there was a mist, or was it more like just like a gurgle of like blood spewing out?
Oh God, you're turning me on. Like just listening to any stories about his death. I love it.
Well, I think there's going to be this picture needs to be highlighted on a homepage. Absolutely, this GIF. So,
it's the GIF that keeps on gifting.
Absolutely. I'm going to send you my friends cybersprout.net. They're going to help you make that webpage beautiful, because you're not going to know how to do it. You're just not going to know what's needed to put that up on a page. But Cybersprout knows. And that's because they got design experts that are well-versed in digital strategy and elegant design. They got easy-to-edit fields. If you want to get in there and do it, you can, because they got custom templates that have drag-and-drop tools. And that's what I'm talking about. Make it easy for us. And that's what Cybersprout did for us. They handle your hosting. They handle security. They got it all. You should visit cybersprout.net to get started. They're your partner for a digital world. Now let's talk about some other TV shows. I want to start it off with Harley Quinn. On the 7th and 8th episodes of season 5 of Harley Quinn, Ivy has lost Frank, but she now has a new plant baby, Frankette, which was created by her tears and Frank's cum rag. Frankette starts to help Ivy heal until Lena takes her away. Speaking of Lena, she has fully become our big bad. After Harley bottles Brainiac, Lena takes over his ship and starts to make Metropolis perfect, or not really perfect, just as annoying to her brother Luther as possible. Taste what they ask you. What do you want to talk about first, Lena taking over or Frank and Ivy's incest plant baby?
Oh, man. Such a good question. I do want to harken back to earlier in the season where I said that the Floronic Man would be the big bad of this season.
Yeah.
I feel like Lena has officially taken it over.
She has indeed. She's done it. Well, she's done it, but now I don't know where she goes.
Yeah, I know. She keeps upping up her game, and I don't know where she goes from here. But she didn't do the best thing, which is to make Brainiac a tiny little person in a jar, and he is just being thrown around that jar willy-nilly.
It's so good. Like, just when, like, obviously their plan was to murder, because Ivy's on a whole revenge path to avenge Frank's death. And she thought Brainiac did it, but so they're up there. They don't fully know how to work the things until the musical tells her how to work the gun, which very good moment.
Which I love when fiction tells you, like, that's a fictional musical written by somebody who had no idea what was happening. And then you listen to that fiction, and then now you know how to do things.
And so they shrink him up, they put him in a bottle, which is just fun to have a little pet Brainiac, where we thought this would be, like, this is our big bad, this guy, everything is seen like, oh, he's bottling worlds and everything, like, that's terrible, this is going to go terrible. And now he's just a little dude in a jar while the woman takes over. And I'm like, you know what? This is fucking rad. This is it. Let's do it.
Cassie, are you, and I know that, like, out of everybody I podcast with, you have the highest tolerance for pain.
Mm-hmm.
Are you ready for when it comes, and I know it will come, when Pop Filter decides that you will be the one true leader, for the tubes with the things, with the spikes to enter your head? Are you ready for that?
Honestly, the whole time I was thinking, I was like, this boss bitch, not even really flenching as these, like...
I mean, it's like a tweak of an eye, and she's like, oh, give it to me.
She's still telling her little story. She's having her little moment of, like,
it's in the middle of her conversation.
It's crazy. They make it clear, too. Like, each little arm has these 3 spikes that then got to jam into her. And they're jamming in on such sensitive areas. As somebody who has to get shots in her head for migraines, like, those areas hurt. And they're not going deep. Like, that's in your brain, dog. That was crazy.
Can I just give a little bit of advice? And I know I'm not a brainiac. I'm not the brainiac, much less a brainiac. But, like, put the thing on the head and then shoot the spikes in. Yeah. Instead of having the spike shoot out and like, then go in.
Like slam into there?
Right.
Crazy. She was crazy for that.
But Lena Luthor, man, Can I? Another thing I would like to teach our audience: if somebody has a certain last name that starts with an L and rhymes with Luther, do not trust them.
Yeah, especially if they're going out of their way to like help you out and like do all these nice things for you when it doesn't make sense.
I bet there's ulterior motives there.
I bet you. Hey, I bet you. But yeah, so she takes over. She has full control of it, and we see her start to like try to perfect Metropolis, which I was like crazy that this is still what like this was her goal to get all of this, but that she's not even really making it perfect. She's just like, Luther hates teal buildings. This building teal. Right. Like here's a salt shop because he'll think it's dumb. I was like, pop off, Queen. I guess go.
So you are backing her plan.
Fully, dude.
Essentially,
like,
you're a Trump voter.
She captured a whole city, but she's a woman, so women support women. Ryan, have you heard of it?
Not till now. And I got to say, I love it.
But yeah, the episode ends like she has Ivy and Harley, who it's named after the whole show. Who would have thought? Ivy and Harley, they realize that like this is all coming from Luther. Like Luther is who she cares about, his opinion. So they go and break him out. While they break him out, she has bottled the city. So they have him in their car and are like trying to cross the bridge over. And then like they see that the city's fully gone because she's bottled it. So now I don't know what her plan is. She's done it. So I don't know where she goes from here.
I mean, it's possible that a lot of psychopaths don't have a fully fledged plan.
Possible, but not a woman, Ryan.
I'm sorry, women. I'm back on your side.
There we go. That's what I like to hear. We'll see on the next ones of that. But the whole time I was like, this is crazy because now I truly don't know where they're going to go with this. But in between all of that, we do have... In this backstory, we have... So Lena is trying to get them... She's split up Harley and Ivy because she realized they're too powerful together. So that's why she takes little plant baby Frankette to break them apart and get them mad at each other. And while they're separated, she's trying to kill them. To kill Ivy, she uses like the robots and the weapons and everything. Classic move. For Harley, she uses her dad because I guess her dad has just always wanted to kill Harley. Didn't know this part.
No, I do remember that from like season 2.
Yeah. So he gets another shot at it. He brings in a TaskRabbit basically to cut out her organs. But hey, he doesn't succeed in it.
Good.
He doesn't. And then that's pretty much like we get all of that. Harley and Ivy, like I thought this would last a little bit longer and I was going to be bummed of them being like mad at each other and separated.
Oh yeah. Is this the season where they break up?
Nope. They resolve. They come back together.
All right. Well,
that's
next
the
season.
power of a woman and woman relationship, Ryan.
Wait, shit. If one woman is so powerful, Cassie, can you imagine 2 women together?
Imagine 2 of them. The first episode that we watched, the 7th episode, is when we do have, like, we were all worried if we were going to lose Frank. But we get a lot of Frank immediately right after we lost Frank. Because Frank has his whole funeral. He made a video with 500 steps of what them to do. And this creates...
It's so predictive. Like, oh, did Ivy just cry? Did Ivy just throw my cum rag in the dirt? Just so good at, like... I do think that I would like to record a video like that for my funeral.
It would be fun. But I just don't think I could get the timing as well as he did. He really nailed it.
Oh, did Cassie just poop in her hand and throw it at the audience?
I mean, I'm obviously going to do that.
I know, so I'm going to say 3.
It. That's the big things that were in Harley Quinn this week. Do you have a moment of the week from...
I do have a moment of the week. When... Harley does this. Lena takes the credit, but Harley does this of shrinking Brainiac down. And once he gets to the smallest possible thing, he tries to run away and then gets a bottle put on him to be in a bottle. And him trying to run away thinking that like, oh, I got this. Bye. And then getting stuck. That was so funny. And then every time they move, like these are cities in bottles. You have to take care. Like you have to be very gentle, like they're Christmas ornaments. But anytime they move the bottle with Brainiac in it, they shake it as much as they fucking can and watch that little shrimpy dude fly all over the bottle. That's my moment of the week.
Every other one is like a ship in a bottle that a dad has spent forever on. This one is the chick from Finding Nemo, the little kid who just shakes that little bag of the
With the
goldfish.
braces?
Yeah. That's them with Brainiac.
Yeah, I would take a fucking fat hit off a pipe and blow it right into that bottle and just watch them get higher than anybody ever has.
See if somebody could actually die from weed. We'll find out. It would be then.
This is what the Republicans were talking about. Look how this tiny man died from weed.
My moment of the week is in the second one. While Harley is being hunted by robots, she goes to Lena's house. We get a warning from Bruce that she has this high-tech security system. Turns out the security system is an old lady who is a robot. We see her interact with this old lady. I'm gonna say 6 whole minutes. There's this whole thing. She has at first she just thinks it's a whole lady trying to figure out tech. That's like 2 minutes. Then they battle. That's at least 3 minutes. And her goal was to get into the little launch pad so she can go to Brainiac's ship. Once that door opens, she sees that it's already wrecked. And she's just like, fuck. And we wasted like 8 minutes of the show for that. And it really got me. It was a very good bit.
Was it like a show like, what's that show called? Spider-Man, the animated series, where they were just wasting time for no reason? Or was it actually worth it?
It paid off. It absolutely paid off. At least for me, it did. If you want to check out Harley Quinn, which you should, it's Thursdays on Max. Our next show is Invincible.
On the previous 2 episodes of Invincible, a man who lost his sister and niece in an Omni-Man battle gives himself powers to exact revenge on Invincible. Then Angstrom Levy collects a bunch of marks from across the multiverse to destroy our Invincible's world. Taste buds, I ask you this. What are the top 2 reasons I would probably finally quit watching Invincible?
If it supported women.
Okay. Cassie?
Yeah.
This is a real question. Not for you to burn my ass and get me blasted on Twitter.
Got to.
If it supported women, are you kidding?
Are you fucking... Yeah, Brian, eat it, bitch.
I'm the kind of guy who is an ally, but waits for you to say that I'm an ally. Go ahead, Cassie.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Did you want to say something to me?
Sorry, what are you talking about? What would make you stop watching Invincible? If it
2
got
reasons.
Too icky? Too gory?
You're close with 1.
Too icky? I said icky and gory, so was icky closer or was gory?
The second episode is about all of the Mark Graysons coming together from a multiverse. And I know that this is based on an Invincible comic that came out probably 15, 20 years ago. And yet still, stop going to the multiverse. I don't want to see it in anything.
Yeah.
In the first one, where this guy who lost his sister and his niece, he says to his wife and child, pretend that I'm holding you hostage. He's got like electric powers, right? Every time you punch him, he gets more electric power. It's like Bishop. It's like I get power through power. He ties his wife and child up and films a video, and he's like, Invincible, come and get me, or I'm going to kill these random 2 people who I don't even know, this wife and child. And Invincible comes, and they fight, and guess what happens to the wife and child?
Do they die? Do they get killed?
They get burnt to a crisp, and so we see his 8-month-old baby.
No.
In ashes. Like, he has, like, lightning power or, like, fire power. And so his burnt to a crisp wife is holding his burnt to a crisp baby. And Cassie, I'm out. I think that I need to preserve what little fucking IQ points and emotional points that I have. I can't do it anymore.
There's no reason. Like, I get like these shows have always been to like push the boundary and go where they think like you think they won't go, but you don't have to go that far. It didn't need to be an 8-month-old baby. That's crazy.
You can also just have the 2 characters react, and like I know that I'm being biased. Like I don't know what I would have said 6 years ago, 7 years ago, 10 years ago, before I had ever held my own newborn baby. But like you could have been like, had Invincible and this character be like, oh my god, off screen we're reacting to the,
Yeah.
but like the fact that they have to, the second episode of this week was just nonstop slamming heads into the ground, breaking arms, like having bones come through stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, we've talked about this for weeks now of like, I don't know if the story holds up to it. I think I'm just like, I got to move on.
Yeah, it all comes down to a point where it's ultimately like like if they're no longer doing it for the purpose and they're just keep pushing it because they want to get that original feeling that we had with the first one with the shock, but then there was story to back what they were doing, and like now it's just like you've pushed it too far and you can't make the writing match what you are making us see. So
also, if I were to say like I'm gonna stay on with the series and see it till it's done, what is the next season going to offer? But like more.
It's always got to go more.
Yeah, it's got to be even crazier. Like,
which is crazy because I don't know what the writers like. You have to know everyone's going to have their point where they're tap out, and you're just like, are you just waiting to see that with no plan, or like I don't know the goal to that.
And if season 3 of any show, let's say it's called Poop Farm, and season 3 of Poop Farm had so much poop, and I know that season 4 is going to have even more poop than season 4. That's fine. It's not my favorite, but I'll deal with it. The burnt to a crisp newborn babies thing.
That's crazy.
I think I'm going to have to take a pass on this.
And also because it was for no reason. Like he just wanted Invincible there. Like that's crazy.
Yeah.
That was in the first episode?
That was in the first one, yeah. The second one was just nonstop Mark Grayson's beating the shit out of Mark Grayson's, where it's just blood and broken bones nonstop. Yeah. And it's multiverse.
So double, yeah. There's not even like a good storyline to get you through. How many more episodes in the season do you know?
1.
Are
I think
you gonna
it's
watch
possible
it,
that like in 2 weeks our spotlight show is the Invincible finale.
Dang. We'll have to see on that.
Yeah.
Maybe.
We might have to go to the board and discuss what we're actually talking about. It might be more Daredevil.
That's what I'm talking about. More foggy. Is there a moment of the week or was it all freaking garbage?
I have so many moments of the week. They go to a pyramid to like awake a zombie mummy. Mark Grayson, and somebody says, your people cursed you. Maybe think about that. And the zombie is or the mummy's like, bah! Like, what else? What other response are you going to have to that?
What did you think I would say?
My other moment of the week, besides all the shit I've talked, is more shit talking because there is a superhero called Darkwing. And there's another superhero called the Immortal who's helping him out, and he says, Darkwing, look out, and then throws something above Darkwing's head, and did not say, Darkwing, duck.
God
what,
damn it.
Cassie,
It was
what
right
are we
there.
doing here if we're not going to say Darkwing, duck?
It's almost like they prepped it thinking they could have cleared it and then realized they couldn't clear it.
Do you think that you have to go to Disney lawyers to just be able to say Darkwing, duck? Maybe you do have to.
I think you do.
Yeah.
You do. I think Disney is that crazy. That's my guess on that one because it feels so much like they knew what they were doing. There's no reason to have that scene if you're not planning on using that line. If you want to be watching Invincible, up to you. Thursdays on Amazon. That is all the shows for this week, though, Ryan. We've come to an end. Rate this episode.
Oh, 6 out of 10.
Strong.
Wait, I'm sorry. This episode of Invincible or this episode of Superhero Show?
A superhero show.
Oh, I'm sorry. 11 out of 10. You earlier said Launchpad.
Yeah.
And then I said Darkwing.
We're done for, dude. We're so
and
done for.
Did you see any pictures of 90s Night at Disneyland?
Were they both there?
Where Launchpad McQuack
No.
and Darkwing Duck, and they were all there. And Hercules and Hunchback characters and all of these fucking forgotten movies and TV shows were there. Why weren't we there? We should have podcasted live. from 90s Night at Disneyland.
We should have got Launchpad's opinion on these shows, and we have failed our listeners, and I'm so sorry.
No, I did get it. And he said, these shows are too woke. MAGA, 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 Trump.
Damn it, you can never meet your heroes.
I was like, Launchpad, calm down.
I didn't expect this from you. No. Before I get crushed even more, we gotta wrap this up. Some websites for the people to be checking out. You should be checking out popfilter.co. That's where everything your pop filter lives. So go there. Also, if you're shopping on Amazon, switch up how you're shopping. Go to popfilter.co/Amazon. Because when you shop that way, we get some pennies, I believe. So please do that for us. We also have another show on the network called Movie of the Year. What's going on over there right now, Ryan?
I think we're about to be done with 2024 and then dive back into 1996. Tune in. This is the time to subscribe because we have Melinda Clark from the OC and her daughter, CG, talking about Jerry Maguire. We're doing That Thing You Do. And then Josh Flanagan from iFanboy.
Oh, my gosh.
I know. Talking about Fargo.
That's good. You definitely got to be checking those out. That's Movie of the Year. Also, go ahead and follow us over on Instagram if you haven't. We're at Your Pop Filter on Instagram. We got some good photos over there, and they need your likes, and they're begging for your likes.
Go like them.
Go freaking like them. We got an email. It's contact@popfilter.co. If you got any questions, and if we haven't answered those already on the podcast, send those over to contact@popfilter.co. Next week.
We have episode number 750 coming up soon. So a big email show is coming. Yeah.
We need those emails. And those emails can be whatever pops into your mind. The email shows anything flies. Absolutely.
If you want to be like, does Cassie smell like cigarettes? That's a good question.
That's
and
a great question.
I will say yes, she does.
Write that one down. We'll have to be answering that one.
Yeah.
Next week, Ryan, do you want to know what we'll be talking about?
I would love to.
We're going to be digging back into Spider-Man the Animated Series, and we're going to be checking in on, I'm reading here, Blade's mother. So we're going to have to see what that's about. I'm sure it's going to be amazing, so be sure to catch that. That is it for this week, though. For Mike, I'm me, for me, I'm me, and for me, I am you. Bye, everyone.